All right, let's jump into another deep dive. We're heading down to Rio tonight, gonna unpack some recent Flamengo news, a lot to talk about with their last win, and with, well, a certain club legend about to say goodbye.
Yeah, there's definitely some mixed emotions swirling around right now.
For sure, definitely. On the surface, a 3-0 win against Criciúma sounds like a good time. Bruno Henrique, Victor Hugo, and Luis Araujo all finding the back of the net, right? You'd think the coach would be happy.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
But Coach Filipe Luís had some interesting things to say after the match.
Yeah, that's what's got everyone talking. It's not so much what he said, but how he said it. He called the attack anarchic and the defense, well, he used the word descompactado.
Descompactado.
Yeah, which basically means disconnected or out of sync. He even went as far as to say this wasn't the kind of Flamengo he likes to see.
I'm curious, when he talks about an anarchic attack, what does that actually look like on the field? Is it players not sticking to their positions, over dribbling, or is it something else entirely?
You know, that's a great question. That word anarchic, it suggests a lack of structure,
Yeah.
Like no coordinated movement. Imagine players going rogue, trying to win the game on their own instead of working together as a unit.
So it's not that the players are bad, it's more about, like, a lack of a game plan.
Exactly. And that seems to be what's bothering Filipe Luís. He's a coach who really values tactical discipline and a structured approach.
Yeah.
Building a team that's more than just the sum of its parts.
Which is interesting, given all the rumors going around before the match. A lot of talk that Flamengo might, well, intentionally underperform.
Yeah, to try and mess with Fluminense's in the standings.
Exactly. Those rumors really added another layer to this whole thing. So what did Filipe Luís have to say about those rumors?
Oh, he denied them completely. He said, and I quote, "We don't play for Fluminense. We don't play for Criciúma. We play for our fans, for ourselves, and for our values. What made me get here was giving everything for football. I would never give that up."
So he's basically saying, yeah, there's all this external pressure, rivalries and all that, but they're going to play with integrity regardless. But you can't deny that this result, even if it wasn't intentional, it does impact Fluminense.
No doubt about it. It definitely throws some fuel on the fire.
It really does. It highlights those complex dynamics, like Filipe Luís wants to instill a certain culture within the team, one that prioritizes their own principles above everything else. But they're in this incredibly competitive environment where every single result creates these ripple effects.
Right. It makes you wonder, how much of his post-match comments were for the players and how much was a message to the fans and to the media trying to put those rumors to rest.
It's a tough balancing act for sure.
Absolutely. This is where Filipe Luís's leadership really comes into play. He's trying to establish a very clear identity for Flamengo, both on and off the field. And that's no easy task, not with a club as big and passionate as Flamengo.
It makes you think, what's next? How does this impact the way they play moving forward?
Well, that's what we're going to dive into next, but first.
And we're back. It's fascinating how these internal values, these external pressures, they all kind of collide, especially now with Gabigol about to say goodbye.
It's the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, how do you think Gabigol leaving factors into this tactical shift? Filipe Luís seems to be, he seems to be implementing something new.
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, everyone's asking that. Gabigol, he's been such a defining player for Flamengo these last few years with his flair, his individual brilliance, right? He's been so effective, but his style does lean toward that anarchic side that Filipe Luís seems to be moving away from.
It does make you wonder, maybe this is the perfect moment, right? Gabigol leaving, a chance to really reshape the team's DNA.
Yeah, changing the guard, literally and stylistically.
Exactly. And this last match against Vitória, it takes on a whole new meaning, doesn't it? It's not just Gabigol's farewell, it's a glimpse into the future of Flamengo.
Yeah, a preview of what's to come.
Now, we wanted to bring in some expert opinions. Mauro Cezar Pereira, he's a well-respected commentator, known for his sharp takes. He had some interesting things to say about Filipe Luís's approach.
Yeah, Pereira actually praised Filipe Luís for maintaining high standards, even in victory. He said, and I quote, "Filipe Luís shows himself to be a coach who does not tolerate disorganization, even in victories. This is positive. He doesn't want misleading results, but a solid team prepared for the great challenges of 2025.
So Pereira is reading between the lines a bit, huh? He's suggesting that Filipe Luís, maybe he's playing the long game, using this victory as a teaching moment, right? To really instill this discipline, this consistent style of play.
Yeah, definitely a long-term vision.
And PVC, he's famous for his in-depth tactical analysis, well, he added to this discussion. He said, the criticism of the anarchic attack is a concern for the future. Felipe wants a Flamengo that follows a pattern, and this is fundamental to fight for titles. So what are these patterns PVC is talking about? What kind of tactical blueprint is Filipe Luís going for? Specific formations, pressing styles, build-up strategies?
That's the million-dollar question. Honestly, we can only speculate at this point.
Yeah.
But if we look at Filipe Luis's career as a player, right, and some of his early coaching influences, we can start to piece things together. He was known for his intelligence on the field, tactical discipline, his ability to control the tempo of the game.
So maybe we're talking about like a possession-based style, focusing on patient build-up, controlling the midfield.
That's definitely a possibility. Think about teams like Guardiola's Barcelona or even Spain's national team during that golden era. They were all about keeping possession, dictating the rhythm, creating chances through intricate passing movements.
Yeah. It'd be a big change from that free-flowing, that individualistic style that Flamengo has sometimes been known for. Think the current squad has the players to adapt to this kind of shift?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? I mean, some players, like Bruno Henrique, Everton Ribeiro, they're versatile. They can thrive in different systems, but others, they might need to adapt their game, and that's where the transfer window becomes so crucial.
Oh yeah, the transfer window. Always exciting, but now it's a whole new level of intrigue. Who is Filipe Luís going to bring in to implement this vision? Will he look for players who are already comfortable with that possession-based style, or will he try to mold the existing squad?
It's going to be fascinating to watch, that's for sure. And then there's the emotional side of things, right? The Maracana, it's going to be packed for Gabigol's last game. The fans will be there to say goodbye to a legend, but they'll also be looking for clues about the future.
Yeah, mixed emotions for sure. The end of an era for Gabigol, but for Flamengo, it feels like the beginning of something new, something potentially exciting. We want to leave you, the listener, with something to think about. How do you think this tactical shift will impact Flamengo in the long run? Will they maintain their dominance, or will they need time to adapt to this new philosophy?
Exciting times to be a Flamengo fan, that's for sure. So much change. But I guess they say the only constant is change, right?
That's the truth, especially in football. And change can be, well, it can be good and bad. We'll have to see how the players adapt to this new style and if Filipe Luís can, bring in the right pieces to make it all work.
Speaking of pieces, Filipe Luís said something interesting after the match, something I wanted to come back to. He talked about, cycles ending and new players coming in to kind of write their own chapter in the Flamengo story. It really makes you think about how the club it's bigger than any one player, even a legend like Gabigol.
He did say that, yeah. It's true. We celebrate these individual achievements, but a club's legacy, it's built on generations of players and coaches. That legacy, it just keeps going no matter who comes and goes. That's a good message for the fans, as we go through this transition. Yeah, it's sad to see Gabigol go, but it's also kind of exciting to think about those new stars who might emerge, that fresh energy they'll bring to the team.
Absolutely. It's a chance for someone else to step up, make their mark. Maybe someone like Bruno Henrique takes on a bigger leadership role, or maybe a young talent, takes advantage of this opportunity to shine. Who knows? Maybe we'll even find the next Gabigol.
Oh man, that's an exciting thought. It reminds you that as one chapter closes, another one opens, full of possibilities, Yeah. And who knows, maybe this shift in tactics, maybe it'll even attract a different type of player to Flamengo. Players who want to be part of like a well-structured team where everybody contributes.
Yeah, it's possible. We might see Flamengo become like a hot spot for those tactically intelligent players.
Yeah.
The ones who love those systems where it's all about teamwork and strategy, not just individual brilliance.
It's like Filipe Luís is trying to build a dynasty, a team that can be successful for years, not just by relying on individual talent, but by creating a culture of excellence,
Yes.
and tactical discipline.
That kind of vision, it takes patience, commitment,
Yeah.
a real understanding of the game. It's going to be fascinating to watch this unfold, see if he can pull it off.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into Flamengo, we'll leave you with this. Keep an eye on this team. They're on the verge of something new, and it's bound to be full of twists and turns, and hopefully plenty of victories.
And remember, the beauty of football is not just about the destination. It's about the journey. So enjoy the ride, and who knows, maybe we'll be back for another deep dive into Flamengo soon.